Welcome. My name is Dawn from Dawn's Yoga, and this is a Yin Yoga class. It will be approximately 1 hour long. Today's class, we will focus on hip opening. What you will need for class is really just a mat. Everything else after that is optional. If you have a blanket that you might want to use for Savasana or to use for support in some of the postures, then you can grab that. Also blocks, if you have your own blocks, beautiful. So I would suggest 2 blocks. If you have bolsters or a bolster, then grab your bolster. Pillows work, or body pillow, cushions, like couch cushions, things like that. Any of that stuff is great. So that's it. So let's get started. So if you're new to Yin, let me just quickly say that it's a contemplative, meditative practice. This is not a practice where you will be sweating and burning calories and getting your daily workout. This is the class to help you slow down. Our days, our world, our lives are so busy. We're non-stop. And this is to help you to get that time just for you. Of course, right now with us, a lot of us are self-isolating. A lot of us are home alone or home with with children or family members, whatever the situation is. We're not allowed to get out as much. We're not able to get out as much as normal. This will also be helpful for you to maybe get out of your mind and into your body. With so much time in our homes and so much time alone, it's it's easy to get into the mind and worry and stress and feel anxious. So my goal with this class is to help you to maybe let some of that go, come into your body and just enjoy. So the first thing that I wanted to do was to read a really short little, I'm going to move this cushion out of the way, there we go. I'm going to read a really short little verse. It's from the Radiant Sutras. Radiant Sutras by Lauren Roche, a man out of California. So it's just a small little thing here. Listen to the inner sound, the one that you rode outward into this life, into this manifestation of yourself. I love that. Listen to the inner sound, the one that you rode outward into this life, into this manifestation of yourself. Again, the Radiant Sutras, Lauren Roche. I hope that you will join me in setting an intention, also known in Sanskrit as the Sankalpa. The Sankalpa is the desire from the heart. It's a quality that you'd like to bring onto your yoga mat, and it's a quality that from the mat you want to bring into your life. So for me today, it's listening, to really listen to that quietness inside. Maybe listen for the stillness and listen for what I really need. Take a few moments to just sit. Listen to your breath. Follow that breath. Notice where it lands in your body. Notice the pathway. Notice if you recognize during the class today that this breath pattern maybe gets erratic, maybe gets ragged, maybe you're breathing too quickly, it's high in the chest. Slow down. If that happens, take a break, come out of the posture, maybe don't go so deep. Take care of your body and really listen to what it's telling you. Listen to the needs that it's letting you know that it requires certain things. If you hear words, that's your mind. That's your mind again, We want to listen for sensations in the body. This is going to be our true guide throughout the class today. Just a couple more breaths. It feels okay, bring your hands to heart center. It's also fine to just leave them on your knees, leave them in your lap, do whatever feels good for you. If you're already lying down, you can bring your hands to heart center there. We'll do one Om, and so we'll inhale deeply, and then exhale, and then we'll inhale again for Om. So inhale, exhale. Inhale for Om. Inhale. Om. Maybe start to let some light in if your eyes are closed. Start to lift your gaze. Please join me in 2 shared breaths. These will be done inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth with as loud sound as you want. Inhale. These are known as centering breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands. Our first posture for today will be a butterfly. We're going to start with reclined butterfly. So you can do it on the back, or you can do it like just lying flat on your mat, or you can do it with some props. So if you have some blocks and a bolster, I would suggest you pop up your bolster, get a little bit of height. And I'm going to show you other ways to do this, don't worry. And then you come back, bring the soles of your feet together, lean back on that bolster, close your eyes and enjoy. Okay, so if you're there, stay there, that's great. If you don't have blocks, but you do have some pillows or bolster, you can do the same thing, but just a little bit lower down. This is a bit more in the lower here, so you don't want too much into the lower back. Leave a space between your lower back and your bolster. This is also really, really lovely. We get a heart opening, we get a back bend, and we get to just sink into the prop. And lastly, if you don't have any props at all, don't worry. It's also really, really nice to just lay down on the mat, soles of the feet together, knees open, out to the sides, and sink and relax. So wherever you're at, whichever position you have chosen, whichever props you have, relax into the props, relax into the mat. Find your natural breath. Just breathe, breathing into the belly. Just noticing where that breath goes. Breathe into the hips. Breathe into that pelvic region. Breathe into your whole body. So as you inhale, sending that breath to wherever your body is asking for it. And as you exhale, feeling the breath leaving through the nostrils. So all the breathing in the postures is done in and out the nose. stay here for a couple more minutes before we move on. If you are here and you're in pain, if this is too much for you, if you're gripping and holding, this is also a place where props come in handy. You can prop up those legs, maybe just let them rest on the props. That's fine too. If you don't need them, don't use them. The theory with the yin is you can use props. A softer prop would probably be better so that you can sink into it. And eventually, each time you're using the props, for a while, you're using the same amount maybe, but eventually, you might use less and less height here underneath, less support, soon nothing, and just able to just open up. Let gravity and your breath be your guide. Find that opening. Find the space within your body. Find that true self that you manifested. If you would like, you can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And in this way, you're able to follow the breath. You can feel it. You can feel it underneath your hands. Noticing with the inhales, you get your Buddha belly going. And your chest is expanding. And with the exhales, the belly is falling and the chest as well. So you inhale. First into the belly, then into the chest, and as you exhale from the chest, and then from the belly. Couple more big breaths here. Eventually release your hands back down by your side. And on your next inhale, very slowly, from wherever you are at, coming on up into a seated position now. Your soles of your feet are still together. Your knees are still open wide. And from here you can stay just like this, or you can, again, prop, or no props, that's fine. And start to fold forward. So for each one of you, this can look different. Right here, if you're sitting upright, your knees are open, you get some space right in the pelvic region here, your soles of your feet together. You've got a bit of a diamond shape in here, so we're not having the legs nice and close. We've got them a little bit farther away from us, a bit more of a diamond shape. If right here, if you're feeling a lot of sensation, known as the edge, you come to that point of resistance, and this is enough for you, then just stay here and enjoy. If this is not juicy enough for you, if you're not feeling anything, you're just sitting here, then you can start to fold forward. So as you inhale, you find that space. As you exhale, you fold. So you've got to, again, come back to the listening for sensations. If you come forward, maybe this much, and you start to feel it, maybe in the lower back, maybe in the inner thighs, wherever you might feel this in your body, stay there, stay for a couple breaths. At this point, you might notice that your body is finding some space and maybe it wants to come further. So if that is the case, inhale again for space and exhale to find the depth. So you would move on that exhale. You don't have to come any further. Wherever you are at with that resistance and that tension, that achiness, that's where you stay. But for those of you who don't really feel a lot right here, or really don't feel anything, their body wants more, they are craving it, then that you can come down to a place where maybe now you're feeling a little achy, maybe now you're noticing, oh yeah, that's great, this is juicier. Stay here and stay in stillness. So for anyone that maybe has forgotten, or for those students that maybe are new to the yin, the 3 principles of the yin yoga, the 3 tattvas. The first one is we do come to our edge. We start to feel something, then okay, we don't push through that. Pushing through is engaging muscle, and this is what we try to avoid in the yin practice. The second one is stillness. So when you do come to that point, stay there in stillness. Enjoy. Feel what you feel. And the third principle, or tattva, is time. So we stay for time because the fascia, the interconnective tissue, that which we're trying to get into to gain that flexibility and mobility, to increase moisture in our joints, that area, those tissues are more plastic than the muscle. So it takes more encouragement to find opening, to find space. So it is okay to move slowly if you're getting more depth, because your body has asked for it and it's offering you to take it further. All right? 2 more breaths right here. And then on an inhale, coming up slowly, maybe taking your hands to the outside of your knees, bringing your knees together. And then from here, before we do a counter posture, we're actually going to go right into another posture. So another hip opener. So legs nice and wide. This one is known as straddle. It's one of my favorite postures, simply for the fact it took me forever to be able to do it. So if you cannot have your legs straight, for whatever your reason, it's maybe pain in the knees, pain too much down here, you're just so tight in the hamstrings, whatever it is, if you had blankets, this is where it would be good to wrap the blankets and have them under here. Blocks could actually work as well. Feels great. You can do that under both knees. The other thing is, don't have to go so wide. So you find what's good for you. If you're good right here and you're feeling something on the inner thighs or wherever it is in your body, then that's where you belong. The other thing is, if, I'm going to go sideways here, if you've got your legs nice and wide and you're back here like so, you want to try to find that natural curve in that lumbar region. And one way we can do that is by using a block to sit on. So this block is a bit high for me, but it'll just show you the concept. So you can sit up on it and then roll forward. So those 2 sits bones, and the one in each cheek, goes off the block to the front. So that's going to keep you in that more better position, the more natural position. And from here, you can fold forward. Okay? So if that's something you need to do, you might just fold up a blanket, have something a little bit lower than the block, or you might use something higher. So find what's good for you. And then from here, you can start with your hands behind you, just for the first part here. Just to begin, just to settle in, just to find where you're at. So whether your knees are bent, and when I say bent, they might be way up here. This might be you. Again, that's fine. And then from here, noticing your sits bones, whether they're on a block or on the mat. Do you have equal weight on them? Are you more on the right? Are you more on the left? Are you a little more centered? Can you find equal weight on those two sits bones? Push into those hands. Find some space in the vertebrae. Maintaining as much space as you can that you've just discovered in the back body. Now you're going to fold forward. So again, just as we did with butterfly, with the straddle, this might be it for you. This might be your forward fold. This is not a problem. I started back here. I didn't even start here when I did it. So that's okay. Again, maybe you are better off just staying right here. Maybe for today that's what you want. Maybe there's so much sensation in the body. Maybe your body does not want any more than that or require any more. Otherwise, bringing your hands forward, staying here for a couple breaths. Again, our movement is done with the exhale. So if from here you would like to fold forward a little bit more, it's simple. You can, on your next exhale, start to come down, just moving your hands forward. Find that place. Find where you are feeling it, where you become achy, where the resistance really gets maybe into that lower back, maybe into the inner thighs. Some people tell me they feel it in the calves. So wherever you are the tightest, wherever you have the most restriction, that's where you're going to feel it. Until you find opening in those places, you may not find opening beyond that. Just simply the way it works. So we're opening, we're finding, we're sitting with it, we're allowing, we're being our true self. If it's not juicy enough for you, you may wish to come further. Again, don't strive, don't pull, don't think you have to come down. Don't look at me on the screen and go, oh, I've got to come further down. I could come right down if I choose. This is not where I started. I remember clearly the reason why this is my favorite is because I could not do this, it didn't look anything close to what I'm doing right now, and it's taken me several years. And now I love it. So this is proof to me that the yin is working, okay? But it only worked for me because I took my time about here. And once I realized, okay, I can relax into this. Okay, it took me a long time. I'm not talking minutes, I'm talking days and weeks and longer. And then finding how to roll forward on the pelvis. Okay, here I am. So don't be discouraged. It works, the yin works, but the yin works when you don't engage the muscles, when you don't allow the muscles to take over. You stay active, the feet are flexed, they're not just hanging out, they're active. But not engaged, I'm soft here. And if you can do that, and you can come just to that point of resistance and not push through, that point of resistance changes. It will never stay the same. And eventually you will find a place where you are happy in this posture. Couple more breaths here. Using the breath as your guide and allowing your breath and gravity to be the two forces that bring you deeper into each posture here. On your next inhale, pushing the floor away, moving slower than you may wish to, all the way back up. Settling here for a moment. Smile. Enjoy. And then maybe using your hands to guide your legs together. So we're going to turn on the mat this time. I am anyway. Do one more pose before we take a little mini Savasana. This one is known as caterpillar in the yin practice. We are not engaged. We do not bring the muscles into the posture. Let the legs be fairly soft. The feet are active though. So again, we're not just hanging out. We are bringing the feet active and into the posture. We're going to fold forward. This might be your fold. If, just like in the straddle, if your hamstrings are so tight, or maybe it's your back, maybe your whole back body, then you might want to take a bolster, or pillow, in your case, pillows, whatever it is you have. I'm just going to refer to bolster, but you use what you have. Blankets rolled up, it's great. This is a bit too much for me. I don't need any at all myself, but this might be too much for any of you. So as you inhale though, you would fold, and now you don't have to worry about the legs being in there. Now it's just the back. Yeah, you're folding. That's quite high. Another thing you can do is if you have another yoga mat, maybe that's all you need. So now your legs aren't totally straight. They're a little bent. Okay? That could work. So you need to be a little bit inventive. When you're doing the yoga at home, use what you have, okay? Once you get yourself where you want to be, inhale to find that length again. And as you exhale, you fold. So you're going to fold to a place where, again, you notice resistance. And if you're new to the practice, resistance where? Maybe you're thinking, where does she mean? Where should I feel it? There's no shoulds, okay? So this posture is one that maybe you would think, it's like a forward fold. If I was standing up, my feet on the floor, folding, so it would be like a stretch for the entire lower back, the whole back. But the lower back would get so decompressed here. So it is for the back. But I can't really get into that if this is really tight here. And then maybe not even into here if this is so tight. So that fascia all along the back body from the bottom of the feet all the way up through the glutes. The glutes could be super tight. All the way up to the top of the head. So it's a back body. Somewhere along that back body you're going to feel something, and that's going to be your restricting factor. So in my case, let's see here. Inhale. And as I exhale, I'm not too bad with this one. I've done it a million times. Where I actually feel, where do I feel? I feel a little bit here, a little bit here, but nothing restrictive, just a little bit of achy. I don't want to go further though. I want to enjoy that, and I want my body to open up naturally. I don't want to push through. So I'm listening to what my body is saying. I'm trying to find some softness within the posture. So I would encourage everyone doing this posture with me now to bring their focus inward and notice, where do you feel this? Not where you think you feel it, where you might feel it, where you expect to. Where do you actually feel it? Where's that first place of sensation? So if you came up, inhale on an inhale, and as you exhale, where? Right there. Okay, so right there I'm starting to feel a little bit of something. I'm going to let it open up. So when you get there, even if you can go further, just stay there. And then the challenge is to bring the breath and awareness to that spot. If you're like me and it's in the insertion point down here in the hamstring, then I'm going to inhale, sending the breath there, exhale, inhale, exhale, and finding softness at the same time. So that I can let go of holding on to, yes, I feel it there, and say, yeah, that's fine, let it go, let it go. It dissipates, it moves up the body, and allows me to find a bit more depth. So this is how it's working with the yin. You come to that place, work with it, show it some love, breathe into it, and eventually you'll find some softness and some space to go further. I'll stay here for about another minute. Breathing into wherever the sensations are asking. Wherever you most need the love. Where your true inner self is guiding you to. Not what you did yesterday. Not what you know that you were able to do last year. But where you truly are in this moment and time. One more breath here. Make it a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth and release. Before you come out, I wanted to say one more thing. We'll do another breath just like that. But if you are folded like really in half like I am, if your front body is being compressed, then as you inhale, notice that you can send it into the back body. So much capacity in our lungs. We can breathe back here, and then exhaling, noticing that gets smaller. And then eventually making your way all the way up, and all the way over onto your back for a little mini Savasana. Oh yeah, that feels good. So lying here, close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Inhale deeply, making a big, big Buddha belly. And then exhale it out. Four more big breaths just like that. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. With each breath, noticing if the sensations that you felt feel just a little less intense with each breath. If the achiness is subsiding. And if your mind was really busy, it happens. Maybe now it's calming down. So it's not a bad thing to have these thoughts. Our mind, our minds think that's their job. But my thing here with the yin is, I feel like yoga is to help us to get out of the mind and into the body. It's like a little break from the thinking mind. On your next inhale, making your way up to seated in any way that you need to get up here. so we are going to continue with hip opening. The next posture is called shoelace, and if you know what it is and you know what you can do with it, then you can come right into that. So there's a couple of variations. We're going to start actually with the right leg on top. So left leg, I'm going to show the full version and then I'll show you a couple options. Left leg, knee pointing forward, right leg, knee on top. So adjusting so that these two knees are lined up, okay? Sitting on top of each other. And you're not sitting on your feet or anything, so bring them out a little bit. And you're all lined up and ready to rock and roll. There you go. You're in the shoelace. Maybe this is not going to work for everyone. If you are in this position, stay there and breathe. If this is too intense for you, if your mind is really going crazy now because this is way too much for you and your hips are so tight, which they are for a lot of us, then take that left leg, that bottom leg, this is the first option, bring that leg straight forward and bend over. So you've got these knees. This is, sorry, I didn't mean to say bend over. I was going to tell you to fold forward. Not yet. Let's just start getting into the posture. Okay? So from the side view, this one here is like that. Okay? So you're lined up. Your leg here. Okay? Again, always active foot, active leg. Now, if neither one of these is going to work for you, the other options are lying on your back, because maybe your back is really bothering you. So was the right leg up top. So again, right leg up top. Lift those knees, lift the legs, and then wrapping around, probably around the ankles if you can, wherever you can, just not against the joints, not on that knee joint for action. So it might be here, it might be here, it might be here, it might be here. Okay? And that would be your posture. The other option would be, again, right leg on top, so right leg crossing over. This is known as figure 4. Lifting that left leg, keeping it here, or lifting the left leg, and maybe even reaching through and using your right arm to paddle that right leg away and getting a stretch that way. Many, many options. This leg, that bottom left leg, could actually be down and be just up enough on a block or 2 blocks or whatever it is. Maybe you don't want it all the way up. Maybe you're just right here. So there are many options for this. They're not all going to give you the exact same effect. They are all hip openers. Okay, so here we go. We've been in this one already for a couple minutes. Stay a couple more. If you wish to fold forward, please do that. But what I would caution you is, please don't dump into your knees. And what I mean by that is, focus on keeping the weight in your hips. Maybe bringing your hands forward, because without any support, you're going to dump in those knees. Bringing the weight back into the hips, and then seeing if you can fold forward. Noticing where you're feeling this. If your mind is so busy, then maybe now you've folded forward and your mind is that chitta vritti and all that mind stuff. Maybe it's crazy now. Maybe you just can't stop thinking and how much you don't like this and I should come out of this. Maybe you're just a bit too deep. So your mind has taken over just to let you know you're a bit too deep. Maybe coming up a bit, maybe coming all the way back up. Okay? Excuse me. So whether you are folded forward or sitting up, sending the breath to where you need that, to where the sensations are. All right. Two more breaths here. eventually, using your hand, if you are folded forward, to push the floor away. Everyone's up, seated up. Those of you that are on your backs, you're going to have to come up, because our next posture, we're going to stay on the right side here. So that right leg is on top. So now your right leg is going to be forward. Just keep that in mind. So I'm actually going to turn this way. So I think it's going to be easier to show you what I want to. So the right leg is forward. Hands on either side of that foot, okay? And then your back leg, step it back, step it back, step it back until, and then put the top of the foot on the mat. So you're stepping back until you're feeling, until you're getting some sensation. You want to feel something, okay? Something. If you cannot reach down like this comfortably, this is where blocks come in handy. It could be here or here, and there's even a higher. Okay, so just knowing what your body is capable of today, because it's going to change day by day. Finding that place and being okay with it. That's who you are. Love yourself. It's great. If you honor your body, it will do amazing things for you. All right. So now all I want you to do is bring both hands to the inside of that front foot. So it should be the right foot. Stay here. Or again, coming up on a block, in whichever way you may need. Okay? If you want a bit more depth, you can come all the way down. What I would say to you, though, is this knee, that right knee, and your right shoulder are kissing each other. They're touching, okay? And if coming all the way down isn't in the cards today, maybe just grabbing a mat, grabbing a block on the mat and just coming down to where you can, okay? So where you can is where you feel that resistance and where you can find some softness. So being steady and strong and feeling that resistance, that's one thing. But being able to be soft within the posture, that's another thing. You need both. You need to be able to have both. Then you're at the right place. If this isn't enough for you, then that front foot, step it out about 45 degrees, flex the toes, and let that knee fall open, okay? And then down you come again. And I think I made a mistake being on that side, which is okay. Well, not really, because I want to show you some things, but I'm just going to show you from this way now, same leg. So that knee is open. There you go. Perfect. Staying with this. Now, again, most of you know the way that I do teach. And for those of you first time here, every one of these, it's like a bus stop. So you may be here and that's great. You may have came here and went, oh, I wish I wouldn't have. Well, come back out then. Come here. And if this is even too much, maybe this is where you belong. They're all great places to be. The best place for your body is where your body is feeling some resistance, and yet, like I said, with all that strength and steadiness, with the resistance, finding softness as well. A place that you can hold. Okay? So wherever you're at, you're at. A couple more breaths here. And for you that are in this winged dragon, getting ready. On the next inhale, start to bring that knee in close. Point the toe forward. Come on up. Everybody, come on up. Bring that front leg back to meet that left leg. And if you want, some of you like to come into downward dog. It doesn't have, again, it does not have to be some great downward dog and worry about your posturing. No, this is meant to be just a stretch. Just a little stretch. And then back down on the knees. For those that did not like that down dog, keep in mind next time you could come into child's pose. That's another nice little rest in between sides. Alrighty, what are we going to do now? How about the next side? Okay, so shoelace on the second side. I did show all the options so you know where you're going. Whatever you did on the first side, do on the second side. So that right leg is on the bottom, whether it's straight or bent. Whether you are on your back, it'll be the left leg that's going to be on top. Okay? Adjust. Knees are lined up. Here, stacked. Toes are flexed. Find a place. Comfortable. You don't want your legs in so close. Well, your legs can be close. It can be as close as you want. You just don't want to be sitting on the foot. Okay? That's all. Okay. So I start pretty close in. Not super close. Pretty close. I might come a little closer. There we go. Notice, what I like to do is notice where my sits bones are. Notice how I'm feeling it in each hip. Okay, these are stacked, these toes are flexed. Okay. And how much weight is in each sits bone? The top leg, so in this case the left leg, that sits bone likely won't have as much weight on it as the bottom one, because of your anatomy and how you're sitting. But the goal is to just energetically send some weight there. Don't move your body. Okay, don't take yourself out of alignment. Stay nicely aligned. It's just an energetic idea. You send the breath. You send some weight. Okay. After a while, if you're comfortable, you might open your legs some more, the feet out further, or you might not. It's not, it doesn't make it a better posture. It's what your body likes, what you like, what's going to work for you, and where you're going to find your stretch. At this point, if you would like, you can fold forward. Please keep in mind trying to keep the weight in the hips, not dumping in the knees, okay? So I like to start by putting my hands here, shifting my weight back, and then here we go. If you've come into this forward bending within the shoelace, and maybe you did it on the other side, but maybe this side, it's too tight, it's not a problem. You just come back out. You come up to where you're okay and you can handle it. And your mind isn't going crazy and you're not in pain. Never, never be in pain. Okay? It's not yoga. Yoga is breath and body working together. Okay? If you can't do that, and if you're in so much pain you can't even breathe, please know you need to take care of yourself. If you need to come up all the way, if you need to come out of the posture, come out of the posture. There's no reward for hurting yourself and pushing yourself past where you should really be. You are number one. You need to take care of yourself. Listen to your body. On the next inhale, if you you are folding forward, please push the floor away. Come on up. Settle for a moment. Notice how you feel. And smile. So the left leg, keep in mind the left leg is forward. So here we go. So the left leg here. A hand on either side, and just grab my blocks. Stepping that right leg, the back leg, back, until you feel that stretch, and then putting the top of the foot, so not the toes curled, but the top of the foot on the mat. And finding a place that you can relax and let the hips just sink towards your mat. So the blocks again. If this is too much for you, then you need blocks. So it can be neat. Even if you don't normally use props and blocks and stuff, sometimes it can be nice to use them. Just see what the difference is. Maybe you get a good stretch. It's interesting to see what your body likes and doesn't like and how it works differently with different props and in different shapes. Okay. On your next inhale, move your hands. Move that left hand inside that left foot. You can even step the foot out a bit to find more space for your body. And just staying here for a moment. So I'm going to turn this way for just a minute. I want to show you that. It's not like this. It is hugging. This elbow, or shoulder and elbow, and knee are all together. Okay? Hug them in. You can come all the way down. Some of you are probably already there. Sort of you did on the first side, you do on this side. And then again, you can come into the wing dragon. So you step that left foot out about 45 degrees. You flex those toes, and then the knee just falls open. I'm going to take it this way to show you that. 45 degrees, flex the toes, and that knee just falls open. Okay, come on down. On your next inhale, bring that leg in, point that foot forward, step that left foot back, bring the knees together. Either come into the child's pose, it's just for a few breaths, not staying here for any length of time, or coming into the down dog, so whichever you prefer. If you are in a child's pose and you have your knees together, notice that compression in the front body again. So this is another opportunity, a beautiful opportunity to send the breath into the back body. And just notice that as you inhale, that back body expands, and as you exhale, it all follows back to center. A couple more breaths here. Eventually making your way up. Again, moving slowly. Always moving slowly. In the yin, We move slowly into a posture, we move slowly out of a posture, and we try to maintain some stillness during the posture. Injuries tend to happen getting in and getting out. Okay, so just move slow, slower than you want. You're very fragile. Once we hold these postures for a while, you are fragile. It comes back, you get flexible, you feel good and strong. But immediately after a posture, you're kind of fragile. So laying on your back, bring the soles of your feet to the floor. This is a twist, a recline twist. Again, you may know this. Come on into it. So let those knees fall to the right. Both your shoulders are on the mat. So we're not turning the whole body. We are finding a twist in the core. Your arms can be wherever you want them. Your gaze can be up. You can gaze towards the knee. You can gaze in the opposite direction. You can open your arms up. I don't have the space here right now. One more breath. Notice the breath as it enters into these intercostal muscles, finding space between the ribs. Feels good. And then eventually, if your head is turned, bring it back to center first. Use your core to bring those knees up. And then shift your hips and let those legs fall in the opposite direction to the left side now. Again, both shoulders are still on the mat. This is how we gather that twist. Arms can be open, arms can be closed. Head can be looking up. Your gaze can be towards those knees, that side of the body, or in the opposite direction. Couple more breaths here. Bring your head back to center first. Using the core muscles, bring those knees in. And now, this is the time that we all look forward to. Savasana. Savasana can be taken on your back, on your side, on your belly, even legs up the wall, which I think I'm going to show you actually. If you are on your back, another thing you could do, I just want to show you this first, is you could have bent knees, because this is a nice way. Some of us, when we're tight, we don't want to, it hurts our back. You can bend the knees over a bolster, over some pillows, folded blankets. That's a nice release for the psoas muscle, okay? And it feels really good and gentle on the lower back. Gives it a break, decompresses it. So that is the way I love to do Savasana myself. I know a lot of you like to do Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. So you could bring your bolster. You can see my bolster is right up. There's probably a couple inches from the wall, actually. Then, just getting on it. It's a little bit of manipulation here. And you turn, and voila. Your legs are up the wall, and you're on, your hips are on the bolster. So you're a few inches from the wall. You can let your legs kind of relax, your feet, everything. You know, you could take it wider. I wouldn't really suggest that. That's an actual posture where you're going to start feeling it here, and gravity's going to take over. Better to have your legs up straight. And if you have weight, if you could put like bean bags, some kind of weight here, if you have an extra eye pillow, just a little bit of weight. That feels really good on the, it brings the bones down into, the femur bone down into the socket here, and it feels really good. So whatever position you have chosen for your Savasana, please allow yourself to stay there for as long as your body needs. Traditionally, we do take about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I like to have a 7-minute Savasana in my classes. You're at home, you're listening to this, you're watching this. Let your Savasana be as long as it just feels like it needs. Don't time yourself. Let your body be heavy on your mat. If you've got a blanket, have it on top of you. If you have an eye pillow, be comfortable. Release all tension. Let your whole body relax. Let your whole body relax. I'll see you next time. Namaste.